Discipline is not comfortable. If it were comfortable, it would not be rare. If it felt good, everyone would live with it. But it does not feel good. It feels restrictive. It feels demanding. It feels inconvenient. That is why most people avoid it. They say they want discipline, but what they really want is comfort with results. The truth is harsh. Most people do not lack knowledge. They lack obedience to what they already know. They know they should wake up earlier. They know they should train harder. They know they should control their spending, their eating, their scrolling, their reactions. But knowledge without action is self-deception. It creates the illusion of progress while nothing changes. Real discipline is built through brutal daily habits, not extreme ones, not dramatic ones. Brutal because they demand consistency when emotion disappears. Brutal because they require action when motivation is silent. Brutal because they force you to confront yourself honestly. The Stoics understood this better than most modern thinkers. Marcus Aurelius ruled during chaos, war, and disease. He did not have the luxury of waiting until he felt ready. He trained himself to act according to principle, not mood. Discipline was not a burst of intensity. It was structure repeated daily. One brutal habit that builds real discipline is rising immediately when the alarm rings. That moment may look insignificant, but it reveals your hierarchy of values. When the alarm sounds, comfort invites you back into sleep. Discipline asks you to move. In that small window, you decide who has authority. If you delay, negotiate, and break your word to yourself, you weaken trust internally. If you rise immediately, especially when tired, you strengthen identity. You prove that your standards are stronger than your feelings. Another brutal habit is confronting resistance first, doing the hardest task before anything comfortable, before checking notifications, before distraction, before easy wins. Most people rearrange minor tasks to feel productive while avoiding the thing that truly matters. That avoidance slowly erodes confidence. Each time you move toward difficulty instead of away from it, you shrink fear. You teach your brain that discomfort is not fatal, that effort is survivable, that avoidance is optional. Epictetus has said that no man is free who is not master of himself. That sentence alone explains why discipline is power. If your mood decides your actions, you are not in control. If your impulses dictate your behavior, you are not free. Discipline is the refusal to be controlled by temporary emotion. Controlling your environment is another brutal but intelligent habit. Most people rely on willpower alone. They surround themselves with distraction and hope they resist it. But discipline is strategic. Remove what weakens you. If junk food is not present, you cannot eat it impulsively. If your phone is in another room, you cannot check it unconsciously. Structure reduces friction for good behavior and increases friction for bad behavior. That is not weakness, that is wisdom. Voluntary discomfort builds resilience at a deeper level. Cold exposure, hard physical training, fasting, silence, simplicity. Seneca practiced voluntary poverty to remind himself that he could endure hardship. When you willingly choose discomfort, you weaken fear. You build evidence that you can survive difficulty. That evidence creates quiet confidence, not loud arrogance. Steady confidence rooted in experience. Finishing everything you start is another brutal discipline builder. Excitement makes starting easy. Boredom makes finishing rare. When the novelty fades and the work becomes repetitive, that is where discipline matters most. Incompletion creates mental clutter. It whispers that you avoid commitment. But completion reinforces reliability. It strengthens identity. It proves that you follow through even when enthusiasm disappears. Emotional control may be the most advanced form of discipline. When insulted, your instinct is to react. When frustrated, your instinct is to escalate. When ego is challenged, your instinct is to defend. But discipline delays reaction. It inserts a pause. In that pause, you choose dignity over impulse. You choose control over chaos. Emotional mastery separates strong individuals from reactive ones. It requires humility and awareness. It requires you to accept that not every provocation deserves response. Limiting instant gratification daily strengthens long-term thinking. Modern life rewards impulsivity. Everything is immediate. Food arrives instantly. Entertainment is endless. Validation is constant. If you indulge every craving, you weaken your restraint. If you deny small impulses intentionally, you strengthen your ability to resist larger ones. Discipline grows through repetition. Every small refusal builds capacity for greater control. Keeping promises to yourself is foundational. When you say you will train and you do, self-trust grows. When you say you will wake early and you do, self-respect strengthens. When you break promises repeatedly, identity fractures. You begin to doubt yourself. And doubt weakens action. Self-trust is earned through consistency. It cannot be faked. Daily reflection sharpens discipline further. At the end of each day, examine yourself honestly. Where did you choose comfort? Where did you react emotionally? Where did you avoid responsibility? This practice is uncomfortable because it removes excuses. But without awareness, growth stalls. Marcus Aurelius wrote privately to confront his weaknesses. Reflection transforms mistakes into lessons instead of patterns. Thinking long-term in every decision rewires perspective. Ask yourself consistently whether this action aligns with the future you claim to want. Short-term comfort feels rewarding now, but long-term regret is heavier. Discipline is choosing what you want most over what you want now. That principle must guide daily behavior, not just ambition. None of these habits are glamorous. They are simple, but they are brutal because they demand repetition without applause. Anyone can act disciplined when inspired. Few act disciplined when tired, bored, or unseen. That is where character is built. Motivation is emotional and unstable. Discipline is structural and reliable. If you depend on motivation, your behavior will fluctuate. If you depend on structure, your behavior stabilizes. Life will always present distraction. It will always offer easier alternatives. It will always tempt you with immediate pleasure. If you do not build discipline intentionally, you will drift unconsciously. And drifting does not lead upward. Over time, discipline transforms from effort into identity. You stop debating yourself. You stop negotiating with comfort. You stop asking whether you feel like it. You simply act according to standard. That is real power. Not loud, not dramatic. Controlled, steady, unshaken. Build these brutal habits slowly. Protect them fiercely. Repeat them relentlessly. And one day you will realize that discipline is no longer something you struggle to maintain. It is who you are.